Hi guys, welcome to Inside Out with Phoenix J. Today we are talking about fear. Yes, fear. That emotion that gets your heart going boom 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 boom. That emotion that can make you fly story building without even knowing where it comes from. Now, that's what we're talking about today. So we can understand how it feels to be afraid. Also, we should be able to know what to do when we are afraid. Now, most times people mistake fear for anxiety. Okay, first of all, those two things are different. Okay, now fear is more of like a natural human, not just human, because every other species has it too. Fear is a natural response to danger. It's a physical response to danger. It's meant to keep us out of trouble, to keep us alive, protect our life and protect our limbs. For example, especially the natural thing. Have you ever wondered why, if something is falling at you, something's being thrown at you, the first natural response for you to do is to hold your head, like protect your head. And even if people are stepping on you, the only thing you do is to squeeze yourself up and then cover your head, because like your head is very important. That's where most of your thoughts come from. Without it, you'll be a vegetable. When you're afraid, your body goes through some physical changes. Now, this danger we speak about are dangers that are physical. They are real. That is where you fear. For you to feel fear, the danger has to be real. Like it has to be physical, because your reaction is physical. For fear, example right now, if you are going through a road and then a car is about to hit you, you feel this fear, and then before you know, your heart starts beating, and then you get to just like you just run out of the road. That is fear. Fear helps you to make rapid movement away from danger. For example, your heart starts beating faster, your breath becomes a lot more shallow and faster, your muscle tense up, you flinch, you jump, you can even jump heights that you don't even think you actually knew you could do it. You become an athlete at that moment, but that's just what human beings do to protect their life. That is how fear was designed. Fear is designed to be a protective mechanism to protect you from yourself and every other thing around you. Anxiety, on the other hand, is not like fear. It's a kind of fear. Anxiety is a kind of fear. But unlike fear that the danger has to be real, anxiety is different. Anxiety is more of like a thought. It's more of an emotion than actually physical, like fear. The danger is not like someone pointing a gun at you in the alley and saying your money or your life. No, it's not like someone, like you saying that your money is dropping down, or you just lost your money. Those are real things. No, fear is a thought. Anxiety is a thought. It's more like you fearing what you think can happen before it even happens. And mind you, it might never happen. That is just you reasoning of, okay, wow, this could possibly happen. Let me give you two scenarios. Fear. Imagine you're walking in a alley and it's dark, and then you're walking through that alley, and then someone jumps out and then brings out a weapon at you, let's say a knife or gun, and they're like, your money or your life. Now that fear is, at that moment, what will you feel? You feel, okay, you are scared and every other thing. Now your body, your heart starts beating normally. That is like fear from a physical source. But the danger is real, right? Yes, it's real. But let's say anxiety, on the other hand. Let's say, okay, you're walking in a place at night, and then the place is lonely, right? And nobody is in the streets, except from, let's say, a family and a dog walking in front, like they're walking ahead of you, and then you are just thinking, what if something happens to you? Something jumps out of it, there's a snake in this place. You just feel so, you start feeling tense, and you feel so like afraid, and you are just uncomfortable, and you want to leave that place immediately. Now you want to get out of that place immediately. You want to walk away from that place immediately. Even now, probably nothing will ever happen there. It may just be your mind playing tricks with you, bringing. So now those things are meant to actually help you, which is kind of like anxiety is actually it's just like assuming things that could possibly happen, like the worst possible scenario that could possibly happen. Now, anxiety on its own can last for, just like panic attack, it can last for like 10 to 30 minutes. Yeah, but when your anxiety becomes more constant, that it starts changing your life patterns. For example, if you actually are afraid of, you actually be in a scenario where you are walking in lonely in the street and you're assuming things will come out, you're more likely never to go back to that place again, to walk in that place. That's true. Like, you will never want to go be in that scenario again. You avoid it constantly. Now, that is just for a scenario, but that protects you, right? That protects you. But now when it turns to something else, like for example, you are thinking, okay, you want to buy a house and you're thinking, oh, what if this person is fake? What if I lose my money? What if FCDA comes and demolishes my house? Now, all those things are possibly not going to ever happen, right? They are never going to happen, or they might happen, but they might never happen. You understand? There is no assurance to that. But then because of that fear, you don't even buy the land. You don't even go out check anything because of fear. You're assuming. Or maybe you want to leave the house and you're like, oh, what if a car runs over me? That's anxiety. Now, these are normal things that it's like intrusive thoughts that go through your head. But when this thing becomes constant every time, then you have anxiety disorder. That's a mental healing where you are just prone to like open up, bringing fear, like you just feeding your fears. Now, most times we actually do things like how do you treat these things? Some people do psychotherapy for this kind of treatment. Like you take drugs to avoid your fear, reduce your hormone systems that actually produce and make you fear. But most natural one we actually do is like self-care. You avoid the fear, but you can't always avoid most of those fears. So you just have to face your fears. How do you face your fears? Well, try doing things that you wouldn't usually do. Put yourself out there. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to do something even when being afraid. So if you are afraid, do it afraid. And remember, there's a Bible verse that says that I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of sound mind, love, and power. You're not meant to be weak. Your fear is supposed to be able to protect you, not to control you. Protect you, not to control you. Always know that. Now, I think we're going to have a discussion about scenarios of where you have been afraid, like you had to overcome your fear. If you have any experience like that, you can actually put that in the comment section, and also try to like the page and share. Okay, share, like, and subscribe. I think our next show we're going to be talking with someone who will explain to us how, share their experience with us, how they overcome their fear in life. Okay, everybody has their own worst fear. I think my own fear was like, I used to have this fear in my life, but right now I knew I used to have fear in my life, but now that I have gotten over the fear, I don't really remember what it is anymore, which is what happens when you actually overcome your fear. You don't really remember. It doesn't make sense anymore to you. So that's why I will just tell you this week, try to overcome your fear this week. How? Well, it works different for everybody. You will never know until you step out. So try, and try. All right. Goodbye, guys. Till next time. And this is Phoenix G, still your girl on Inside Out.